I am Frank Trigg. You are watching MMAOddsBreaker.com. Thank you for that. That is James the Hammer McSweeney getting ready for his fight at Legacy Fighting Championships against the headhunter, Paul Buenatello. Interesting matchup of nicknames. It's like the Hammer versus the headhunter. I'm sorry, I'm old school. I don't understand. Like, all these nicknames got serious all of a sudden. Everyone started bringing in a real hard nickname. I don't know why they did it that way, but
I don't know how it works. It's silly things. They get carried away and they stick, I guess.
let's go back for a minute. I want to talk about the Maddie fight at SC8. That was back in October of 2012.
Yep.
You lost a TKO. You got beat up by punches, but it was kind of a weird thing. Can you break that down for me a little bit? How that fight went down?
Sorry, which one was it again? Sorry,
the Maddie Michaela fight in SC8 back.
Oh yes, yeah, Michaela. Yeah, well, I took the fight. It was no problem. I had a good training camp, but to be honest with you, I just we had such a poor traveling there, and I had such a disagreement with my manager. It took me 27 hours to fly to Sweden. Wow. I had 4 layovers. I wanted to go out. I fought in Europe plenty of times before, which was never a problem. I fought in Australia, all over the place. Never been an issue. I always go early, climatize and so forth. They wouldn't let me go early. They flew me out. I think it was like a Tuesday, and I was fighting on Saturday. So I got there by like Wednesday night, and it was a time zone ahead of time. It took me 29 hours in total. And then when I got there, I just everything was kind of wrong. I'm not going to blame the promotion because it's just things weren't right. And then I cut weight, I made weight, got ready for fight day, woke up first thing in the morning, and I woke up in a pool of sweat. I was just like, wasn't feeling good. Got the doctor to my room. They come and did my temperature. I had a temperature of 103. And they said, no, you're fever, you're sick. And I said, I've never felt like this before. I don't know what it is, just maybe the weight cut, maybe the traveling, the food. I'm just not sure. So the promoter come to my room. He brought these guys with him, and he said, "Listen, I'm not going to tell you can't. You have to fight, but we need you. We do this, we do that." And I said, "Listen, I came all this way to fight. It's not like I'm not trying to get out of the fight. I come to fight." And long story short, anyway, I said, yes, I'll take the fight. I was co-main event. They had one of the fights pull out. They had one of the other main, on the live card pull out. So it was like, would have been 3 of us down on the live card gone. So he just kind of said, listen, I take it as a personal favor. Like, I need you to put this fight on. I said, yeah, listen, I'm all about that. Let's go ahead. I came here to fight. Let's do it. And, I went out there and I just felt like shit, to be honest. Like, I just couldn't get my head around the game. My mind was completely, my body was great, but my mind was just empty. Like, I almost had like the fatigueness of overtraining. That's how I remember feeling. Like, I just couldn't get anything together. I thought, I'm going to put this kid away in 1 round, get everything I can do, get it done, and get out of there fast. And just didn't work out that way, to be honest. It was just a very bad fight. And I come back, and it was Robert Drysdale really kind of saved my career. Because I walked into the gym, he said, like, James, I would have bet my house you were going to win that fight. Like, what was going on? And I said, to be honest, I don't know. I said, I know I was sick. I said, but like, I can't see that as an excuse. Like, I just wasn't with it. I don't know if it was overtraining. I don't know if it was the whole thing. I said, like, maybe I just haven't. I've had a lot of fights, Maybe I haven't got it anymore. Maybe it's just not in me anymore. Maybe I'm burnt out. Maybe that's what it is, I was really soul searching. I had no idea. I said, like, for me, not knocking Matty Michaela whatsoever, but I really felt that, like, if I was to lose to a guy like that, like, I'm done. I'm not going to go out there and lose to these kind of fighters. Like, I felt my level was way higher than that. And he said, I'm not letting you. He said, we'll do one more fight. And I said, I can't, man. I can't go through this. And then I get the phone call and they want me to fight Dion Starring.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I got to do it. Fuck that. I want to take that fight. Just before Daniel Cormier and did a good job against Daniel. We made him go 2 or 3 rounds, I think, if I remember rightly. Yep. And he was training the Black Zillions. They were hyping him up so much. And I was like, this is going to be the make or break of what goes on. My next level, I'll go turn left or I'm going to turn right in my career and maybe call it a day. Had a great training camp, went out there, felt 100% on the day, and knocked him out in 30 seconds. And
yeah, it took longer. It actually takes longer to explain how the fight went than the fight actually went. So that was a great fight. You were snappy, you were moving. Yeah. Is Robert Drysdale your head trainer? Does he handle all the training aspects of your fight camp?
No, not all of it, but I mean, like, I'm Robert's striking coach. He's my ground coach, and we correspond between all of us, and everyone has a good voice, you know. And I'm not the guy that, like, I don't like to run my own camp by no means, and I let them decide between all my coaches. I let them decide what I'm going to do, where I'm going to do it, and how I'm going to do it. I just turn up and get it done. So there's not really a head trainer. I feel that all my coaches are the head trainers, and I'm just there to do as I'm told, to be honest.
Who's gonna travel with you to Lubbock, Texas for LFC 22?
Robert can't actually make it. He's got other things he was prior booked for. So I got my boxing coach coming in, Joe Trujillo. I've worked with him for like 4 years. And one of my good training partners has worked with me for like 4 or 5 years on the ground as well. So they're going to both come out there for me.
Well, it's you versus Paul Bonatello. He's the headhunter for a reason, and you're the hammer for a reason, because both you guys tend to stand up and box and swing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this fight's going to get through all the rounds? Do you think it's going to end up, in a 3-round decision?
He won't make it for a round with me.
Is it going to be more stand-up, or is it going to be a lot more wrestling? Because I do know with Robert, you've been working on your wrestling and jiu-jitsu quite a bit.
Yeah,
this could be on the ground. This whole fight could finish up on the ground.
I moved to Vegas, I mean, under 2 years ago, just to work particularly with Robert, just to reverse my game. And now I feel that I've got ground. I'm not insecure of going to the ground with anybody anymore. I go with Robert 3 days a week. I mean, but one stage for the first year, I think I had Robert, Frank Mir, and Forrest Griffin 3 days a week in a circle, every session for 2 hours a day. I mean, like, it was just brutal. So you either learned fast or you got smashed. So, I had to learn fast, and yeah, it sucked, but it was a hard year, and I feel like I got through it. So I'm happy with my submission game. I haven't got anything to prove to anybody about my striking, but I'm not a K1 fighter anymore. I don't fight Thai boxing no more. I'm an MMA fighter. I'm going to go out there and fight MMA. If that means that Paul has no ground and I have better ground than him, maybe I take the fight to the ground. If I stand up with Paul and I see, do you know what? I don't know how he got this nickname, and I'm just outboxing the crap out of him, I'll stand and knock him out. I really don't know until I get in there, to be honest. I just know, as you do, you have to train complete. And now I'm injury free. I train complete. I train with the best guys I possibly can work with. I boxed a ton with Freddie Roach for this boxing camp in LA. I've worked with Freddie for the last 5 years before I was even in the UFC. And I went out, I spent 2 or 3 trips with him right now. I had my other boxing coach come in, my Thai boxing guys come in. I've been wrestling with Carl Griffin. He runs our wrestling program. I've been wrestling with Mike Van Arsdale. He came in to help me as well. Mike used to train Paul Bonatello. Mike Van Arsdale was a personal friend of mine. He come in and helped me with wrestling. So, I'm not going into this fight thinking, it's just a stand-up fight. If he's going into this fight thinking it's just going to be a boxing match, he hasn't yet. He's mistaken. This is an MMA fight. And I've got messages to prove to everybody. Like, when I was out in Australia, I went out there and submitted 5 people for a reason.
Yeah.
Everyone know I've been working with Robert Drysdale, and I've got ground. And I went out there with that game plan. I'm not going to stand with anybody. I'm going to take everyone down and submit them, and that's what I did. So now I feel like I have that confidence to do that now. I don't know where the fight's going to go, if I'm really honest. It's just going to be where I decide to go at that particular moment. If I see an opening and I see that he's being weak in that opening, that's exactly where the fight's going to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's James McSweeney. He's getting ready to fight Paul Bonatello on Legacy Fighting Championships 22, August 23rd, down in Lubbock, Texas. James, thanks for coming on here with us on a Sunday afternoon.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, man. See you soon. Take care, guys.
Talk to you.